are live. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. I see we are rolling deep today. To start off, like right off the bat, I am so stoked for this. And we have an awesome artist today. I just I just swallowed my water and now I'm coughing. Because that's how I want to start a podcast, is I want to be coughing. But no, we've definitely got Amiccella here with us today, who is an independent rap artist from Canada, correct?
That's right. Hi. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. Like I said, I'm moving. I'm sick and tired of moving. I'm done. Like, I just want to throw everything. It's like, oh, I didn't pack it. Oh, well, it goes in the trash can. Like,
Just
bye.
start fresh. Yeah, it makes it easier.
No, exactly. So I'm a little bit on the, oh, I have to take a break and do a live. Darn.
That's
No, but
awesome.
I definitely see some of what I call my people in here, and I see some of your people in here, and I see some people that I know that you know. So that's pretty cool too. So appreciate everybody showing up and showing through and showing some love. Drop my audio is
Oh,
not low. Ah, hold on. I've got to crank myself up. Is that better? I'm yelling into the microphone. Hold on. Is that better?
sound good to me.
Right? I mean, technically, I guess nobody really needs to know what I'm saying because we're kind of here to get to know you. So,
Oh,
I mean, I guess, the implication that I said something and then you respond, I guess they could kind of guess what I'm saying.
guess on context. No, your voice is important.
Ah, there we go. Okay, they say that's better. Thank you.
Good.
See, you got to tell me right away because if you don't, then I'll get like three-quarters of the way and somebody go, your mic's low. And I'm like, what?
That's awesome.
There we go. But now, in all honesty, I'm gonna tell everybody that's here in the chat that is not familiar with this channel and not familiar with this platform, kind of what we're about and what we do here, so that they kind of get an idea of like what the purpose, I guess. Obviously, it's to highlight the guest that's here, which is you at this point. We the entire intention is to put a spotlight on the independent grind, right? So content
Right.
creators, reactors, artists, authors, producers, musicians. I'm sure that I'll come up with more descriptive words somewhere down the line as I meet new people, right? And
Right.
it's all about support. Like, so most of the people in like my personal community, my Discord, the Elsewhere community, are super into supporting new artists. They want to hear new music. They like it when people, not saying they don't want you to get bigger, but they like it when people are smaller because then they really get to help push you out there and help show you to other people. People like to share videos and, share the people that they learn about. So it's kind of cool. Another big
That's
thing
awesome.
about this platform is we're all about respect. This is not going to be one of those podcasts, though we do have them sometimes. If there's at any point in time anything that I say or she says that you don't agree with, that's cool. We can agree to disagree, but you're going to be respectful, or else you can just there's a door. So pretty
There
simple,
you go.
pretty simple rules, right? Just be kind, be nice. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. So anyway,
These are good life rules in general. We should apply these to everything.
no,
Just be kind and
that
respectful.
exactly, like I say, we talk about this all the time. There's enough success for everybody out there, especially when it comes to, for example, YouTube. You can thank you, Jess. She dropped your excuse me. She dropped your link down into the chat right now. So if you haven't seen her,
Thank
click on
you.
that. It's also in the description. Check out her music. I usually don't play it during the live just because we're talking and we just do. But um, I just had a brain fart. That whole thought process just went out of my mind. It just went like, whoo.
That's so funny. I'm dead.
But no, from what I've gathered, since I've started talking to you and since I kind of was sneaking around paying attention to you a little bit longer before I talked to you at all. Paying attention to the type of posts that you make and your music. And I want to say the one thing that stood out to me above everything else, aside, I'm not talking about talent because obviously that's you're talented. That's a
Thank
given.
you.
What stood out
Thank
for
you both.
me, hands down, is the grind, your hustle.
Oh,
Because it matters, right? Because there's people that are just like, they throw up a video on YouTube and they go, okay, now do something with this, right? And then they're like, well, why aren't I making it? Why aren't there's nothing happening for me? Well, because you just threw out your video and expect everyone else to do the work. And you're out there at festivals, you're out there performing, you're posting, you're sharing other people's posts, you did a raffle today, you're hustling, right?
thank you for noticing. I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, it means a lot, especially when like this community is very familiar with a lot of independent, and I am going to focus on rap, independent rappers. We see all sorts all over the place. You see ones that we resonate with, and we see ones that we pass over. Not nothing personal, unless it's someone who literally, like I said, throws up a video and is like, "Oh my god, why isn't anybody watching my stuff?" Like, what did you think was gonna happen, right?
That's too funny.
But you're in
That's
Canada.
awesome.
What side? Like, you're on the left side? I'm so great with directions. You're on the left side of Canada.
Do you know where Vancouver is? It's pretty close to Seattle. It's just
Okay,
a
that helps.
yeah. So Vancouver, Canada. Yeah,
Well, see,
the
okay,
West Coast.
I've met quite a few people that are from Canada that are artists, right? So
Okay.
you have to understand, I kind of thought that everybody in Canada lived above like New York. So when
Not
they're
quite,
like
but
Pacific time, I'm like, you mean Alaska?
that's so funny. Yes, yeah. I'm on the West Coast,
I got you.
so
Yeah, I
it's
finally
yeah.
learned that because I've got, Brandon Hart, Rachel Geek. I'm pretty sure Versus is in that section as well. Who else have I talked to in Canada? I know there's more. I'm missing people, but they tend to all be from the west coast of Canada versus east.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. But because I always thought, I mean, so Toronto, which is sort of East Coast, I always thought they had a bigger music scene than we do in Vancouver here. So that's interesting to hear.
No, and
And
it's
they're closer to New York, and so they kind of get the U.S. influence there.
well, and the only reason I really know this because, like I said, geography. Hi, mom. By the way, um, geography is not my strong suit at all. I'm kind
Oh,
of like
it's not mine either.
I'm kind of like I just learned that Hawaii wasn't next to Florida, so you know.
I'm dead. That's so funny. When you were saying before, like, is there any subjects we should avoid? I probably should have said geography and politics. Like, let's not talk about those two things because I am geographically declined 1000%.
Like take a left at that weird house with the crazy person who's always cutting the tree with no
There you
clothes
go.
on, like that. That's the extent of my geography skills. No, but it's really cool because
Sorry.
when I have to schedule, right? It always depends on what people's time zones, and I always end up with people in the furthest time zones from me as humanly possible. So that's how I
That's awesome.
learn where you live. I figure, okay, 2 hours behind me, you're on the Pacific coast, right? An hour ahead of me, you're on the East Coast. And if you're like tomorrow in the future, then you're in Australia. So,
It's yeah, and then that's why I double checked with you because I was like, last time I got it wrong, but I'm actually 3 hours behind you,
well, I'm
right?
central. I'm central, so
What
you're
time is it right there?
2:16.
Oh, it's 2:16. Well, okay, then we lucked out because I would have come on the wrong time if I thought it was 2 your time. I thought it was 3 your time, and I was like, yeah, we're starting at 12 my time. Anyways, it worked out. I'm glad it worked out.
We're here. We made it. A shout out
There
to
you go.
Wolf7, tip $10. It's not common here, but if you can, drop a buck or two. Invest now before Cat is the second biggest podcast in the world. First, I'm assuming he's saying Joe Rogan's. Also, she's in the middle of moving. I am. Donate to the cause if you can. Much love, everyone. I appreciate you, Wolf. I mean, absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for that. And yes, I am definitely moving. But
That's awesome.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, you're on the grind and you are hustling and you are showing up at festivals. I mean, I think in the last couple of weeks you have pretty much performed every weekend. Am I wrong?
Um, Basically, I mean, here, yeah, every second, third weekend maybe is more realistic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I might have like ignored you for a week, and that's how I think it's been every single one. Like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
check. I was trying to stay off social media for like a weekend, and then I missed it. But um, in all honesty, do you prefer to like make music videos, or do you prefer to be live in front of people?
I think that's a really interesting question. I really do enjoy doing the live shows. Um, but I it's a lot. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody else experiences this. I think I should talk to other artists if there are any artists in here, which I know there are. Let me know what you think. But the next day, and I don't drink or, like I don't drink while I'm performing, and the next day I just feel exhausted, like I've exhausted all of my energy and I have to take entirely the whole day to recuperate. So I don't know if other artists experience that, but it takes a lot out of me, and I think it's because I'm such a perfectionist and I have a little bit of OCD, and I spend, the whole day stressing up until the performance, and then by the next day I'm just absolutely dead, and it takes me like 2 days to get back to my normal self. So I do love performing. Um, but I don't think I could do it every single week or weekend. And yeah, so I'm definitely becoming more and more picky where I give my energy. And then same with music videos. Like I don't think every song needs a music video. So I'm very picky with what songs I choose to make a music video for. And they do also take a lot of energy and time. And yeah, so
No,
I guess
that makes
I think I
sense.
do prefer the live over the video, though. I'll say that. More interaction with people. That's really exciting.
Well, I mean, it's got to be cool to literally look out and you can see the reaction on people's faces that minute. Like you can get the crowd
Right.
involved. You can do that. I saw the one that you were posting. Um, that everybody was posting different video clips that you just did the other day,
Right.
and the whole crowd is shouting, and getting into it, the whole 9 yards. And very specifically, there's something that I told you said, and I told you I was gonna mention it. That I was so excited that you said. Um, and this is for anybody out there. I mean, anybody that does. I can't. That's why I'm drinking water. Ben, tell me, ask me what I'm drinking because I'm coughing. Hold on. I got a tickle in my throat.
You okay?
I hope so. It's like it's like you take your car in and it stops making that noise. I'm the opposite. I go live and then suddenly everything that could go wrong,
Oh no.
happens. No, but um, something that you said, and I think anybody that supports independent artists or goes to live shows can really appreciate, is you said something along the lines, and I know I'm going to misquote you, but hopefully I get it kind of on point. Um, where you talk about you're there, it's you and it's the beat, right? It's not you're playing your track and then you're like jumping around and saying every 17th word, right? I
Right.
mean,
Well, and yet to clarify, that was Tiny Wings. If you're familiar with her, she made that post and tagged me, and I reshared. And I do agree. It's not usually my style to be very confrontational or to call other artists out. It's all we all have our own journey, right? So
right.
I don't like to diss anyone or call anyone out, but um, that's just it's a personal preference of mine. Like when I'm going on stage, I want to rap for you. I love rapping, so I'm not gonna go out there and play my track in the background and jump around and be like, "Yo, hey, Amiccella." I'm not gonna just yell out some ad libs. I'm there because I love rapping, and that's the truest form. I get to go out and rap on a beat that I love, that I've picked. So
And I get that, and I
yeah.
understand what you're saying. That was somebody else's post that you shared, and I apologize. I got that a little bit
Oh
wrong.
no,
But
no, not no worries.
and I'm definitely not a confrontational person, but I certainly am a very opinionated person. And I also am not usually someone to go to live shows. I don't do them very often. I can't remember last time. It's been forever since my kids were born almost. However, I do see some of them. And I would think one of the perks of going to a live show is seeing the artist do it for real, right? Without all the
Right.
studio equipment, without all of the pre recording, without all of the touch ups, and actually just doing it and showing their craft, right?
Right.
To me, that would be a lot of the fun. Um, if I want to go listen to a track, right, and dance around to it, I'm going to go to a club.
Right. Exactly.
I
Listen
mean,
to a DJ.
but it is a personal preference, and I'm also, I agree with what you're saying. I'm not knocking anyone that does that. You do you, what you need to do, and who knows, you might need to rest your voice. There might be an issue going on. I'm not going to judge. However, I
Right.
just feel like if you're going to be in front of an audience and they're paying to see you perform, then you should perform.
Exactly. I agree. Well, and then at the point, like you said, at this, all the studio work and all this, new age auto tune stuff going on, it's like, well, what's really separating you from any other person? Like, anybody can go into a studio and put a bunch of auto tune on and make a song. So that's just my opinion. But
No, I agree. I mean, I understand what you're saying. And like I said, there's different strokes for different folks. Some people could like a studio recorded version of songs over live performances. People could like live performances. They want to see you, but they want to hear it clearly, so maybe they want and the actual track being played. And then some people really want to just experience the raw talent of the artist, even if it doesn't sound as crispy as it does on a studio recording. They still really just want to hear you as an artist. Um,
right,
and it doesn't matter which one. I personally think if you're going to perform live, you should perform. I mean, that's my opinion, but we all have opinions.
agreed, agreed.
But what got you started? Like, did you just wake up one day and say, or like, were you like 5, or has it always been something? Did you do singing first or anything?
I honestly, ever since I can remember, and I always tell this story because I get asked this question a lot, but
Of course.
I've always loved music. Like, I genuinely feel like I was born with the intuition or the desire to do this. Just didn't know that I could until recently. And like I said, I always tell this story, but I was introduced to rap specifically at a very young age. I have an older brother; he's 15 years older than me. So when I was 2 years old and I learned how to talk, I was already listening and rapping Tupac and Snoop Dogg, and I'd put on little shows for the family, and I kept growing with this passion. But um, first of all, I was very shy when I was younger. I didn't know that I could go to a studio and you know record a track, and so I kind of just did it on my own in my own privacy of my own home. And then a year and a half ago, decided, what am I doing? Like, why not just give it a chance? So went to the studio, recorded BAB, and never looked back.
Right. No, I get that. And see, and the reason, obviously, it does matter what your motivation is or just kind of curiosity. So, I mean, that's one of, like, it's kind of a required question, you know? It's kind of the thing.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
but the thing is, it does kind of give some ideas. Some people have been doing it for a long time. Some people have been doing it for 5.5 minutes. Doesn't take any of the talent away. I mean, you could be
Right,
grinding for 20 years. You could be grinding for, like, since yesterday, right?
exactly.
And if you're talented, you're talented. If you just decided yesterday, I'm going to release a track, and then you're like, hey, Kat, I really want to talk about this. Like, let's go. You know, if
Right.
there's talent, there's talent. So I mean, even if it's been a year and a half, but you grew up with it, so that's kind of been your thing. Did you ever try like just plain singing, or did you always want to do rap?
Yeah, what's funny is I did singing lessons when I was younger. Truth be told, I am not a very good singer, but like I can get by. I can get by on a track with a little help, like we said, from the studio, and I can do pop singing, where you don't need a ton of technique.
Right.
Um, but other than that, I'm not a great singer, and I always thought that I loved singing and wanted to be a singer, but rap has been my passion since, yeah, 2 years old, day one, basically.
Well, I mean,
And
I can sing. I can butcher a song like with the best of them. I can literally destroy a song. I'm really good at it. It's like a special talent.
that's amazing.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of people that get into music and they actually try to make a go for it, and they are out there hustling and they're really serious about it. A lot of them have, in some way, shape, or form, some type of background where whether it be in chorus, they've taken lessons, they've tried to hone their craft because it's something that just resonates with them. It's part of who they are, right?
Exactly.
So
Yes.
it's just kind of in, uh, an indicator that it is a passion. Because, like, you have a kid that wants to be, a superstar singer, but, you're like, okay, well, practice, practice, and they won't practice. You're like, well, you're not living and breathing it. And some people actually are.
Exactly.
You got to want it,
That's very true. 100%.
Well, I did notice that you are a cat person, and that is awesome to me.
I'm an animal person in general.
Well, I'm terrified of
Love
dogs,
animals.
personally.
Oh, I don't know.
But I have my cat, Prince Frederick Meow Meow. That's his name.
That's so cute.
He's a jerk, but
No.
no, he's really a jerk. Like, he'll yell at me when he wants food, and then he basically ignores me at all other times. He's like, doesn't cuddle with me, nothing. But I love him
Sounds
anyway.
about right. I know. That's an abusive relationship, I swear. Any relationship with the cat is in some way abusive.
I can get therapy for my emotional
Exactly.
needs. I just can't
give
get what I
and you
need out of a
give.
relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like it's unrequited, or what is it? Unreciprocated love.
Exactly. They gaslight us.
But you could just tell, because if some of you guys I know are aware because you follow her on Instagram. She just did a raffle, and you gave away merchandise and tickets and like personal trainer sessions and all kinds of crazy stuff. It was all pretty cool. And then your cat was there. That's how I know.
That's hilarious.
But at this point, what is the favorite song that you've done? Like, what is the one that you're like, okay, if I could describe me with one track, and like, this is what I want to put out to people when I want to say, this is who I am, and that's the only chance they're going to hear anything of yours, which one would it be? Whether
Probably
it has a
Miss
video or
Polite.
not, that doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, probably Miss Polite. That's the first one that came into my head. So, but also, it's also the first one that I go to when I want to introduce someone to my music. So I think Miss Polite. I know Curly's going to be fighting me in the audience right now, saying, or in the chat here, saying Italiana, but sorry, Curly, I had to go Miss Polite.
Well, I mean, I hear artists say it all the time that the songs that, for lack of a better, I'm just going to put it in my own words, the songs that resonate with them the most aren't necessarily the fan favorites. Which
Exactly.
is why I asked that question, because fan favorites, the most views, all of that stuff is not quite the same as something that you say, if I were to pick one that I just feel like is personal to me, or resonates with me, or describes me as an artist, this is the one. Like, it could be two different things. It doesn't make it any less or better. It doesn't matter. It just is.
Exactly.
See,
100%. Yeah. And I know Carol in here is typing shell shock probably coming up, but no, but that's, and I love all of those songs for different reasons, and they do represent me. Of course, Italiana, it's, my essence, and shell shock is a lot of my story, but for some reason, Miss Polite kind of brings together my personality, and also I love the style of the track and the flow of the track. Yeah, I think I have to say, yeah, Miss Polite.
No, that's perfect, because that's what it should. It should actually, it's like Gordon Ramsay would say, it's you on a plate.
Exactly.
It's like a full
Love
meal.
it.
Like, this is me on a plate.
That's awesome.
But do you have, I'm going to ask, and some of the questions are going to be dumb because I might know the answers, but I'm going to pretend like I don't. Do you have an album out yet at this point?
I do not have one out, but there is one that is, okay, well, I'll spill some beans here, but there's one that's going to be coming out with Don Carlo out in Toronto. We're working on a kind of cool concept EP. It's going to be, how on Facebook you have like your relationship status and then you can select it's complicated. So we're going to be releasing a 3-song EP just taking you on a journey through a relationship. You know, the infatuation stage, and then the second song kind of takes you through the playful stage where you're kind of getting a little more serious and comfortable, and then the third one is that, you know, the dark turmoil of the relationship, and you know, the inevitable, you know, ending. So that'll be coming out in probably September-ish. And then I'm also working on 2 EPs myself. We're in the very early stages, but the first one, um, and I hope it's okay that I'm using EP and album interchangeably here. If that's okay, it might change the direction of this conversation.
I'm not gonna write it down and like sue you if you say it differently later.
There you go. I appreciate
You'll get a
it.
stern letter from me at some point.
And so, but this is an EP, Miss Amiccella. Yeah, so working on one called, I already have names for them, Introspective, which is going to be a 3-song EP. I'm going to release some singing tracks, actually. One's already done. I'm really excited to share that with you guys. And then the second EP is going to be like a fundamental EP. So it's going to kind of characterize all of my features as an artist, I guess you could say. So, you know, the things that are important to me as an artist. So, you know, lyricism, catchiness, those types of things.
Right. Oh, that's
Just
I
an
mean,
introduction.
so you know you're not busy at all.
No, not at all. Yeah, I'm just laying back. Got my feet up.
Just kicking back. Like I just threw my video up. You know, come on. Like
Yeah,
I could do something while I sit here and pet my cat.
exactly. There you go.
No, I appreciate you letting people know because that's actually really cool to know that there's stuff that's up and coming that you're working on. That you, like I said, you hustle and grind. That's what you do. I can tell
Thank you.
even without. I wouldn't even have to just by seeing what you post on Instagram, seeing the flyers that you put up, seeing the things that you're participating in. You can see that it matters to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Um, there's something else. See, I have that tickle in my throat. I give up, y'all. I give up.
You need a candy or something.
I do, but I don't have any. And what I had was like expired like a year, 2 or 3 years ago, and so I threw
Oh
it all
no.
away yesterday.
Oh no.
I had like an insane bag of Dum Dums. It was like 800 in there. I got it from Sam's Club at some point and forgot I had it. It was
That's so
stuffed
funny.
in a cabinet, and I was like, "Oh, 2019. Oh, okay." I'm
You know,
like,
it's just a recommended best before. I'm just joking. Don't eat it.
no. I mean, I used to be like, it won't kill me. But then I realized that it does kill people, and so I don't anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yes, good idea. I support that.
Oh, good. Ben says I just found her on Spotify.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Ben.
No, absolutely. Definitely give her a follow, give her a listen, go check out her YouTube channel, check out her music. It's not easy being a female in the industry. It's just not because you have these, there's always, whether it's makes sense or not, there's these expectations, right? So either you
Right.
have to be a super diva sing songy person to a point, or you have to be really, really sexualized,
Exactly.
and people forget to just stop and listen to the damn music. Listen to the
Exactly.
song, listen to the
100%.
lyrics, listen to, the flows, the cadences, listen to the song itself, how it's put together, like listen to the talent. They're just like, is it sexy enough or is it pretty enough that it makes my socks roll up and down, right?
Yeah. Exactly. 100%.
So I mean, it can't be easy. I mean, when you perform, are there usually? I did see on the last one there was a couple other female artists, which is awesome to see as well. Um,
Yes.
and I think there's a lot more coming out, which more power to them. Honestly, as you stay true to yourself, stay true to the actual music and the talent, and don't go. I'm not saying you are, but like people in general don't go those two directions if that's not for you. Um,
Right.
is she? Oh, Sherry wants to know. She actually does reactions on her channel. Are you okay with somebody reacting to your music?
Oh, yeah. 100%. Always.
Oh, there you go. Definitely,
Thank you.
she does do reactions to artists that she's interested in. She does stuff on her channel like talks about different topics and things of that nature.
That's awesome. I'd love that. Thank you, Sherry.
Mad Peace, have a good day. He has to go.
Bye, Mad P.
No, but by the way, chat. Obviously, if you guys have any questions, I know that there's a lot of people in here that are hyped up to hear some of the information that you're giving. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in there, and I'll be happy to translate. Or if she catches them, she can answer them too. Because is there? I'm trying to think. If you had any like feature collab that you could say, if I could just get in the studio with this person, who would it be?
100% Snow the product. I
Uh,
love her. Yeah.
What's funny is I
She's
actually shared one of your reels with somebody. I'm not going to tell you who, but I shared it with somebody, and they're like, who she reminds me of. And I'm like, who? I knew what he was going to say. And he's like, she's kind of like on the snow side of things. And I was like, that's a big compliment.
That's a huge compliment. That's so nice. She definitely inspires me. So thank you. That's really cool.
Hey, what up, Chill Rock? But yeah, she's fire. She really is.
Yeah, she is. And there you go. Just like you were talking, not overly sexualized and, super amazing lyricist and just really talented. And I think people genuinely respect her, male and female audiences.
No, absolutely. In all honesty, I think that if people tried to like objectify or sexualize her, she'd probably kick their ass.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, just saying, like, I wouldn't want to be in a dark alley, when she's pissed off.
Exactly.
Like, same with like Viking Barbie. I wouldn't want to be in a dark alley with her pissed off either, or an ex of hers, because that would be scary as well. Oh, much love, infamous Ty. Appreciate you swinging through. Yes, like if she had anybody that she could collab with, absolutely. That's what she was saying. Oh, she's reaching out to her. Well, there you go. Are we going to put that into the universe, that it's going to happen? That would be cool.
That'd be amazing. No, I would probably have a heart attack.
I really think that there are such amazing artists out there that they want so bad. And I think we were talking with Mr. Elboyd yesterday about this type of thing, but not in the same context. There are so many people that have like a big platform, or they are big artists or big people themselves, right? That really want to do things and to show and lift up people that are up and coming, that they think have talent. But unfortunately, they get stuck in this thing where they can't, just for 8 billion different reasons. Like, because, if I do one, they have to do everybody, or, there's just all of these different caveats to it when it comes to their own stuff. So they get their hands tied, unfortunately. And I always think that sucks. That's why I like anybody that wants to push the music forward needs to do it.
Yes, 100%.
Because, we can all use all the help we can get, right?
True. True that.
Well, unless, your YouTube video, you just stick it up there and it has a life of its own, and
there you go.
Finds its own listener.
Fire, No, that's hilarious.
No, but
in a perfect world, that would be amazing. You just wake up one day with one video out and 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, the one video, like not even putting out multiple or an album, nothing, just one video.
Just one.
Just one. I made it. I'm done.
Yeah, there you go.
No, because
awesome.
You can get, for example, you can get a ton of followers, subscribers, right? People that are like, hey, you're cool. Because, this is the world of the 15-second entertain me or you're done, right?
Exactly.
Just instant gratification, attention span of a goldfish. So you can get as many, people can have all these followers, but the chances of them consistently watching their content, I'm talking listening to it on Spotify, playing it in their car, buying the album when it comes out, is statistically so low.
Exactly.
Right? So it's better to have 20 people that are going to listen, watch, share, and buy every time than have 2,000 people where only 10% are going to do that.
Exactly. And that's the long-term game, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the sex sells immediately or whatever you want to say, but, the purpose here is creating that engagement or resonating with people that truly understand what you're trying to represent, and then catering to them, like, who cares about the rest, essentially. But yeah, that's the goal for sure. Is that means the world to me. Like there is a handful of people that I see that genuinely make me emotional because they interact with my music, and there's a whole bunch of them in here right now. I see Carol, there's Chief, there's Curly, there's Max, like so many people in here right now. um and that means the world to me because all of this work that I put into the music, and the way that I put the work into the music, they appreciate it, and they show the love. So appreciate you guys.
And it doesn't take an entire stadium full of people to make you feel appreciated. It takes one genuine comment of how you touched somebody or made them feel better or they just really liked what you did. It takes one
Yep,
or two or three.
exactly.
It just that's all it takes to make it like, wow, I did well.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, because it's quality over quantity, that whole thing. But I mean, in all honesty, you put your heart and soul, you put your energy and your effort into what you do, and you go out there and you kill it. Um,
Thank you.
Songs that sound cool, right? There's some songs that just sound cool, and you're like, yay, that's great, and you like nod your head and stuff. But then if you don't relate to it and it doesn't resonate with you, then it's just like, okay, well, it's like a fart in the wind. It's like, oh, that was nice, and then you move
Exactly. There you go.
on. I mean,
I
because
like that expression.
well, I mean, I'm sorry. I just realized. I mean, I knew what I said as I said it, but then after I said it, I'm like, wow, yeah, I just said that.
I mean, it's a good one. I like it. I'm probably gonna steal
Write that down.
it.
No, but it does matter, and I think that that's one of the things that this community is really big on is showing support to people and you know dropping new tracks. If you drop a new music video, I try to post it for people or they post it. Following because they actually like what you're doing and sharing it and showing up if you do a premiere and checking out if you're live on Instagram. Like a lot of people really try because not everyone has the money to help others. Not everyone
Right.
has the clout to help others. And the most
Exactly.
precious thing that we all have is our time.
Yep.
So taking the time to show support, to show up, to hear what you have to say. Every single person that has stopped through is here or will be listening in the future. They actually gave a crap long enough to say, look, I actually am curious who she is and what's going on, and I just want to hear and it means everything. They took time out of their day. They don't have
Right.
to, you know.
Exactly.
So it just
Yep.
means the world. And I just think you're doing great things. And I think that I don't know. I hadn't decided which one's my favorite, honestly. I've been trying to think about it since I asked the question because I figured somebody would ask me, but nobody did. So I got away with that one. Um, but I just I can't wait till you put out like the EP. I think that's going to be really cool. But with the relationship with going through those different levels, and I think that's a really cool concept as well.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited. And that one's it's definitely a different vibe. It's more like a mainstream kind of mixed in with a little bit of pop, and I think people are gonna really like it. I'm really excited for it as well.
And as Champagne Rain says, we need more female rappers and less sexualization going on. I want to hear about who they are in their music. That
Yes,
makes sense
agreed.
because I don't think the be all end all of who someone is necessarily the body part that they're throwing out as a chorus.
Yeah.
Just put a pin in
Yeah.
that. We're going to leave that one there. Y'all don't need me to explain further. Um, just as a general rule, right? Because you're human with emotions and thought processes, and you spend time writing the lyrics and putting your heart and soul and your personality into it.
Right. Exactly.
I think that should mean more personally, but
I agree. I
what's
agree
up,
with you
Nico?
there.
Nico's popping in, but
Hello.
I'm just trying to think. Like, man, I wish I could. I wish I could. I'm not creative. I wish I could be. Like, I really do. Do you do ciphers by chance?
You know what? I haven't done one yet, but I have been talking to some people about it for sure. So on the radar.
Gotcha. Because I know I do know people that do ciphers, and like this channel itself has had a rap competition back. I think it was in March. It was the first one. I've been busy. I haven't had a chance to do another one. I was planning on doing it this year. By the end of the year, there should be a second one. Um, just for funsies. I mean, why not? I think I know
Yeah.
enough artists at this point where I could probably pull off a decent one. Um, I was just curious because, you know, ciphers are a really great way to get your name out there and to meet some really cool people that,
Yeah.
you know, to mush along with when it comes to jumping on, they're going on a performance in such and such place, and then they're like, hey, you come with, you know, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'm definitely open to, yeah, to opportunities like that and looking for some for sure.
In the next, if you could, if you have a goal, right, in the next like year, 5 years, um, and you're like, hey, this is what it's going to take to say, you know what, I made it to that point, right? Because everybody should have a goal. If you don't, then, right?
Right.
What is like your goal, that your next big one, like where you're like, okay, this is where I'm headed for. Mine's 1,000 subscribers. Okay, y'all, like I'm
Right.
headed towards that. So let's just like set that one real quick. Um, you know, I'm not asking a lot, but still, like, what's your next, like, it doesn't even have to be like realistic or in the next 6 months. It could be in 15 years. I want to be blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's yeah, I think definitely the ultimate goal. So um to be self-sufficient off of, you know, musical, and like obviously I have a full-time job and music is kind of in a hobby position right now, but I'd like it to be something where I could be self-sufficient and also able to, you know, give back to the community and support other people and just do a lot of good things for the community. And that's always been really important to me. You know, I always want to help and to give, but in a more meaningful way. And I think having like a platform where you can, you know, like we said, represent, you know, female rap in a way that's not overly sexual, or, you know, giving other females a platform, I think paving the way. And ultimately the goal would be to, yeah, be self-sufficient off of music and to give back to the community and help others.
Should be like be a guide or like a mentor for people that are coming up.
Exactly. And just give a different, you know, like mainstream music right now, like there are a lot of women that we say, oh, they're great rappers, but then they're also, you know, they're doing all the other stuff that they're kind of forced to do to be seen or to be recognized. So just kind of paving the way for a different segment in at that scale would be amazing. That would be a dream come true.
No, I think that's awesome because I can tell you, this is my personal opinion, but I actually, congrats to people who are really good lyricists or rappers. The moment you turn to those gimmicks, I just tuned out. I mean, in all honesty, I don't support those type of gimmicks because I think that it takes away, and I think that I mean, it is a gimmick. More power to people that think that's what they need to do. Do you, boo boo, do what you gotta do and get where you need to go. I don't choose to support that just because I don't like it, and that's my right. It's anybody's right. If people
Right.
are like, "Oh, I only want to see you if you got your tits hanging out," okay, well, that's your choice. That's somebody's, not yours, but that's somebody's choice,
Exactly.
and they're welcome to
100%.
it. But
Yes.
people need to understand that there's, when it comes to music, and that's why I kind of sort of miss, where everything was a CD, and so you'd sit there and you'd listen to it, and you might catch a video
Right.
on MTV or something in the 90s. Like, you just can't understand the difference of when you don't have a music video for every single thing you see,
Exactly.
and you don't have a social media post or a reel or a picture, and you actually, oh, heaven forbid, you have to listen to the music. I
And that's
mean,
the thing. That's so true.
as much as it's helped people and independent careers, having social media
Yeah.
as a platform in order to progress and to build their fan base outside of a label and outside of, mainstream, and make it where other people might not have.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, there's that downside. The flip side to that would be, you know, now people have these expectations that you got to look a certain way, you've got to post a certain way, you've got to catch them within 15 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, or they just click,
Right.
click, click to the next one.
Yep.
You know, you either have to have shock value, or you have to have sexual content, or you have to like just be a well-known name. It's that simple. And it's unfortunate because all the good is being offset by all the bad in a
Yep.
negative way.
100%. Agreed.
She says stays true to herself, best lyricism in the rap game.
Aw. Thanks, Josh. And also, hi, JT.
Sherry says thanks for introducing us to new artists. No, absolutely. That's the point. I mean, whether any kind of creative, independent creative, especially, I do have a couple people that have been on a label, but not like a. I'm not talking like Warner or Sony or something like a big one, but like I've had a couple, but there's close to independent as you can get. Um,
That's awesome.
I just think that people deserve a little bit more attention to get to know the person behind their art. Um,
Right.
I think that now, like I said, with all of the social media where it's about blink, there's your picture, and click, you clicked off of it, the way to actually keep and retain your fan base is honestly to get to know, for them to get to know you as a person and like you as a person.
And on the other end of that too, I feel sorry for some dudes that are making music that I just find so underrated. I come across people on Spotify or I'll look them up on Instagram, and their engagement is next to nothing because all of the attention is being focused on, female bodies or other types of things. But there's so many people who are going unrecognized because they're not offering, that type of visual stuff, like content. So
Like clickbait almost.
I also, yeah, like clickbait.
Yeah, gotcha.
We also have a song coming out called Clickbait that Yellow Bunny and I just made and we performed. FYI, but it's about that specifically too. And so, yeah, no, I also feel sorry for guys because it's hard for them to be seen in this saturated market of content that is, mind numbing. And yeah, I'm gonna
Hey,
go
what's
off
up,
on a
JT? I
tangent.
see you. No, I agree with you because here's the thing. So, like, I usually, and most of the people that I talk to on here are generally male. That just is what it is, right?
Right.
It happens. So, the issue that I have is the market is so oversaturated, and you were absolutely correct with that. The artist that I know personally, and I'm going to throw him out there because I can, because he's like one of my best friends, so I can do that. Like Skullz specifically. I met him with 46 subscribers or 50 subscribers or something. He's over 10,000 now. And that was like a year and a
Wow.
half ago when we first met. And I start pushing his music, and he's been a part of this community, and then his reaction videos do help, don't get me wrong, but his music is very appreciated by when people hear it. It's just getting it to those ears.
Right.
And
Exactly.
the hard part is because, well, he's a white guy who raps. Ooh,
Yeah.
must be an F. Like, you just get that constantly, just being dogged on for that.
Yeah.
And then you get the market saturated, or YouTube. Let's just say YouTube, not the market. I'm not talking about people getting paid for it yet, because we're talking about smaller artists, right?
Right.
Who are not making a living doing this, but are trying.
Right.
They get oversaturated by shitty music.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, y'all can hate me all you want. By crappy music. People who slap together tracks, throw it out there, and then expect everyone to love it. Who play it 85 times until your ears bleed. Who can't hold a tune or write a bar or switch a flow up or pick a good beat to save their life.
Right.
And so it's almost obnoxious trying to sift through all of the bullshit to get to the good ones. But when you do, and I know that a lot of people that I know personally in this community, when you do, we're like, oh, guys, guys, check this person out, right? That's the whole
Yeah.
point.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good one. Champagne Rain says, what does she listen to in her downtime?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like lately it's been a lot more of other independent artists as well, but I definitely listen to a lot of Snow the Product. I love Mexican rap. Um, So like MC Killer, Santa Fe Clan. I listen to a lot of Russian rap. My favorites are Diga, Goof. What else do I like? Um, yeah, just a lot of kind of random stuff actually. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna look at my
Sea
yeah.
shanties, maybe? I'm
Who?
just kidding.
Sorry.
I said sea shanties. I was kidding.
No, like yeah, just a lot of different stuff.
But you, I mean,
Um,
at this point, you're kind of a little bit more leaning towards like rap at this time.
yeah, rap, and then here and
Yeah.
there, like I'll go into phases of I'll listen to some metal, some rock, some pop, uh, but generally I stick to a lot of
No, that's cool because I mean, some people. I mean, I was just I was dying because I'm sitting there like, she's gonna say opera or polka or like I was just waiting for something. No, but it makes sense. It really does because it's the type of music, some people are absolute. I make this type of music, therefore I don't listen to it. It's weird how that works. And then
yeah,
people are
I've heard
also
that.
like, this is the type of music that I like. And because they like that, that's what they listen to as well. Right?
It,
So there's like these
it,
two completely polar opposites when it comes to that.
yes,
Oh, there we go. JT says he always gets excited when he hears dope female hip hop artists pop up with quality material. Where did you get your inspiration to start creating music hip hop in particular? Now, you did go
okay,
over part of this earlier.
yeah, yeah. So I'll reiterate that part. I said that I had an older brother who introduced me very when I was very young. I was 2 years old. I would listen to Snoop Dogg, Tupac. I think the first CD I actually ever bought myself was Little Bow Wow, but that's only because I tried to buy Mystical. But then my mom found out that there was a parental advisory stamp on it, and so therefore I left with Little Bow Wow. Uh, but yeah, I grew up with the greats essentially, and then you know got inspired by a lot of different stuff. Like my favorite pop song was or pop favorite pop singer growing up was Robin. She's a Swedish pop star. I don't know if you guys have heard of her. Um, or like the Spice Girls, and but then more recently inspired by people like Snow the Product and even Rocky Bad. She's another American independent artist. I think she's really cool. Her music's not something that like I would typically make, but I love listening to her. So yeah, a lot of different people have really inspired me over the years.
Absolutely. And I mean, anyone that thinks that um, everything gets inspired by something, whether people want to believe it or not. I don't think there is a single thing in this world that is left that is an absolutely hands down original concept with no input from any other avenue at all. I don't think it's
It's just
possible.
impossible. Like
Right.
it's yeah, just by human nature itself. We have to have heard something or been inspired by something to create something.
No,
And
exactly.
yes, I'm glad JT's heard of Robin. That's actually she's dope. If anybody hasn't heard of her, they should go check her out. I don't even think she makes music anymore, but she's really cool.
Like Robin from like the 90s.
Yeah, Robin from the '90s.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you say 90s, I know who you're talking about. Like,
Yeah, there you go. I love her. She's awesome. I still listen to her music.
do you do any shows in the States yet? Or are you planning to anytime soon?
I haven't. I would love to. I need to make some connections out there. If anybody knows anything, please Insta DM me and let me know because I'm ready. I'm ready.
I think the hardest issue, I think maybe one of the hardest things about that is getting the visa to come in and quote work, right?
Right,
Because it's
right,
expensive, it's a huge process, and
right.
you don't want to be banned for a lifetime, so you got to be careful. Um,
Exactly.
I'm just saying, I know people, like I said, I know people in Canada around where you're at that go to shows all the time. I think Rachel Geek just did what is that called?
Shambhala, yeah.
Shambhala. Yeah, she just did that not too long ago, and she's constantly posting about this. She's going to all these different festivals and oh, name
Oh,
pronunciation.
yeah, this is a good question. I like this question. It's Amiccella. It looks like Amiccella, but it's the Italian spelling, so the two C's kind of make the ch sound. Amiccella.
There you go.
I hope that helps. Pearl's got it.
Well, like I said, if there's anything that comes up, I don't know all the ins and outs of what it takes to be able to perform in the United States, for example. Um, but if something comes up that I hear of, I'll be definitely dropping it in your inbox because, but I do know ones that come up in like Canada because I see people posting about them or they're looking for people to come perform and things like of that nature. And they would definitely, I have no doubt, be interested in what you're doing.
I love that. Thank you for, yeah, thank you. I'd be over the moon. Always looking for opportunity.
No, that's you got to be that way though. If you want to succeed, you got to. Like I said, you can't be lazy. Slap something together, throw it up on YouTube, and then get mad because it doesn't do something itself. You gotta work for it, and you gotta hustle for it. You gotta grind for it. You know, you gotta believe in
Exactly.
yourself, and you gotta believe in yourself more than anybody else. Because if you don't, why should we? Right?
Exactly. Agreed.
How'd you get the name? I think you were named that.
Yeah. Well, I have a very Italian grandma, my nonna. So growing up, my name was Amy, which is not very Italian. So she used to call me like Imicella or Imicedda, which means like little cute Amy. Um, my music name actually wasn't Imicella at first. When I released BAB, it was Ames, which is an overly popular name on Spotify. And I was actually talking to Tiny Wings, and she was like, "We should find you a more unique name." And so we were thinking about it, and I was like, "Hey, what about Amicella?" Because that's what my grandma called me growing up. I love my grandma, so yeah, that's where that came from. It was definitely unique. There's no other Amicella on Spotify.
Oh, I've got the Italian grandparents and great grandparents on my mother's side.
Oh, there you go. Fun for
What's the
Trisha's
matter,
side.
you?
What's the matter, you?
They're like, ah,
You fat.
fondue. I was like, ah, okay. Jeez.
That's so awesome. Which part of Italy are they from?
I think my grandfather was from Sicily. I'm pretty sure, and I
Okay,
think that my grandmother was from northern. I'm not sure. My mom would know. I don't think
okay.
she's still in the chat, but she would know. Um,
The Sicilian mafioso.
yeah, no, nah. But and they've passed on. But I never forget that that was my great grandmother. Who she's like, what's the matter, you? And she was like bent in half, and all of her stuff. When I knew her, she was super old, and I was like little, and all her stuff was on the floor, and literally it was on piles. So because she was bent over because she had a really bad back. So if you think
Oh,
like a walker and think that her head's like below the top of the walker, that's how bent over she was. And
no,
so
no.
everything was on the floor, so she didn't lose anything.
No.
It was so cute.
That's
I
very
just
sweet.
remember, and she had a big sink in her basement or her whatever, like a utility sink that scared me. And you know, you're at grandma's house, and
Oh.
you're like, ah.
That's cute.
But no, I mean, we've been going for about an hour now at this point,
Yeah,
and I mean,
yeah,
in all honesty, I can't thank you enough for
yeah.
agreeing to come
Thank
on
you
here
so
and
much
talk to
for.
us.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me, and everybody in the chat's been so lively, and yeah, it's really nice to connect with you all.
I do know that you've got a few more people checking out your stuff, and you got a few more subscribers on Spotify and on YouTube. I Some of have mentioned
Thank
it, and I
you.
know my people and people that are gonna watch later will check it out as well. So you just never know. I mean,
Yeah, thank you
honestly,
guys so much.
networking is life, man. You gotta get out, put
Yeah,
yourself out there, meet people.
exactly, that's right.
What's
Thank you
the
so much for the opportunity to connect with you and to meet all of the new people here as well. It's very nice to meet you.
I'm scrolling up to try and find. I know your link's in here because I know that there it is. I found it. Because Jess posted it earlier. I'm
Right.
copy because I'm slow, and I'm gonna paste it. Hold on. Scroll back down.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I think that I got it. Unless I just linked this to this. It's in the description, Chill Rock. I tried to be
Thanks,
all
Rain.
like smooth with that, and I don't even know what I did. But no, we're probably going to go ahead and get out of here. I got to get back to packing. I know I say that a lot, but it's because, or maybe I
Yes.
should say I need to get back to throwing things away because I'm over it at this point. And I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time out of your day to hang out with us, get to know her, get to talk to me, for rocking with the channel, for, checking me out if you haven't been here before, and for coming back if you have. And for anybody listening in the future, hello, future people. Definitely, if you made it this far, appreciate you for sticking it out to the end. No joke.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Kat.
And on that note, you guys, we're out. Join the Discord, hit the like, drop a comment when I go off here, check the description, check out our music, and we're gone. Bye, guys.
Bye.